Hello everybody, this is Alex Ybarra. I'm the state representative for District 13, proudly representing Kittitas in Grant County. This is my 7th year in the legislature in Olympia. I've been here for about 85 or so days and wanting to go home and getting a little homesick, so we'll be home really soon. Well, the great news is that House Bill 1253 passed through the Senate 49-0 and is back to the House floor for concurrence. And the reason it's important, I'm an energy guy, have been for 17 years working for Grant PUD, and I understand that lots of utilities and private entities can't work together and should be able to work together, but the laws in the state of Washington won't let them. So 1253 is going to let them do that, and what that's going to mean to Grant County, Kittitas County, and the rest of the PUDs across the state is that they can bring energy to where it's needed by building more transmission and generation across the state. Boy, what problems do I have with the budget was passed in the House and the Senate? About everything. The operating budgets were $77 billion, $77 billion. If I'm not mistaken, the budget last year was $72 billion. Now we have a $10 billion budget deficit, and they raised the operating budget $5 billion more dollars, and they cut other programs. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The biggest part is that they have $24 billion of a $77 billion budget on taxes alone to raise the revenue to pay for everything they want to pay for. You may want to know what those taxes are going to be if the operating budget passes as is. The first is a new payroll tax that punishes work, an increase to the B&O tax that will hurt local employers trying to grow and hire, proposing major increases in property taxes, completely ignoring the will of the voters who supported limits like Initiative 747. So the property taxes are going to go from 1% to potentially 3%. And that's just the beginning. There's 3 types of property taxes, not just 1, not just 2, but 3. The first one is House Bill 2049 raises the annual growth cap, meaning they're going to raise the cap on property taxes. Senate Bill 5798 eliminates a 1% cap entirely. House Bill 1334 allows up to 3% annual increases. 3%. You're paying 1% right now. They're taking off the caps on property taxes. So your increase could be 3 times what they are right now. So that's what everybody's worried about. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I voted no for this particular budget. In fact, all of the Republicans and 5 Democrats voted no against this particular bill because of all these taxes. And again, there's many more taxes. For instance, there's fishing license taxes, there's hunting license taxes. If you ever go to the Gorge in George to watch a concert, that's going to get taxed more. I went this summer, it's going to cost me probably an extra $5 just to go watch a concert. On top of all the taxes I just pointed out, and those are just a few of the taxes in the operating budget, now we have the transportation budget, which is a different budget. That particular budget also has additional cost. And when you live in Quincy, Kittitas, Cleella, Mellonsburg, Moses Lake, Othello, we do a lot of driving because nothing's close. When I go buy my groceries, I go to Wenatchee and go 30 miles to do that. When I cut my hair, I go to Wenatchee. When I go to Costco or go to Home Depot, I go to Moses Lake. They're all more than 30 miles away. And most of us where we live have to travel a lot. If we pass the transportation budget as is, there will be a highway user fee for fuel-efficient vehicles, a 9-cent per gallon gas tax increase, a 12-cent diesel tax hike with automatic annual inflation adjustments. If you don't remember, last year, a gallon of gas rose 50 cents a gallon. Now they want 9 more on gas and 12 more cents on diesel. And on a yearly basis, as inflation rises, so does the price of gas. That's what that tax is. And obviously, I'm a no on the transportation budget because of it. Other things that are going to raise, there's a vehicle registration fee hikes. For example, a standard passenger vehicle would now cost over $124, up from $78. So that's more than $50 for a regular car just to get your registration fee. We have higher tire fees, $4 increase per tire. So when you go to Les Schwab or another local tire manufacturer, $4 per tire more because of this particular tax. And vehicle sales tax increases, 1% on the first 50,000, 2% on amounts above 50,000 to 100,000, and 3% on the value above 100,000. We don't like this budget. What's ever good for Central Washington is what I'm voting for. I've been doing it for 7 years and plan on doing it again. Hopefully these budgets do not come out of the legislature as is. Hopefully they come out with zero taxes. I'm here to fight for you, and if you have any questions concerning the taxes or any issues that happen in Olympia, please call me, email me, throw me a note, whatever you'd like to do, just get a hold of me. I'd love to hear what you have to say so I can make the decisions for what's best in Central Washington. Thank you.